I never thought I'd say it, but here I am saying it. I'm excited to drive a Kia, but not just any Kia. This is the all-new 2018 Kia Stinger. The big question I have is, can it live up to the hype? The Kia Stinger starts right around $32,000. That gets you the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that puts out 255 horsepower. This one, however, is the GT. That starts around $38,000, and it comes with a 3.3-liter twin-turbo V6 that puts out 365 horsepower. Obviously, the V6 is my engine of choice. It's got a ton of power, and the delivery is really nice and smooth. Styling-wise, the Stinger takes up where the Kia GT concept left off a few years ago. Up front, we have this big scooped out area here, which I actually like better than the concept, and that's fairly rare. The concept for me, I thought it looked almost like a bulldozer up front because it was so scooped out. But nonetheless, these are much more tame, although they are still a little overdone for my taste. The grille here, it's the typical dual tab Kia grille, but it's a little more stretched out, almost BMW reminiscent in some ways. Probably not an accident either. It changes a lot character-wise with the different colors. The red accentuates all these black and black chrome bits here and there, and it does look good, but personally, I kind of like it in the brilliant blue that they have as well. Down the side, we have another big kind of black chrome vent here. I'm not so sold on that. I think I prefer it to be body colored, but the styling overall is quite fetching. One thing that's absolutely captivating about this car is the roofline. It's got this nice coupe swooping line that goes all the way to the tail. And the taillights back here, I really like the shape. It's almost kind of Maserati Gran Turismo in some ways to me. As you'd expect, a power hatch, and behind the rear seats, 23.3 cubic feet of cargo. Fold them down, you have over 40 cubic feet. So as a Grand Tourer, it should be able to hold 2 couples and all of their luggage, and in this case, the Stinger comes through. So Kia was thoughtful enough to set up an autocross course for us so we can test handling without the fear of crashing, a ticket, or worse. So let's see what this can do. Oh, tail hap. So those are rear wheel drives, not the all wheel drive, so it's a lot more lively in the back, and that is what I want. Yeah, really well balanced, easy to recover from a little bit of oversteer there. Yep, that's the stuff. Brake pedal is a little soft though. I'd expect it to be a little bit more firm, but, oh, that was a nice one. Oh yeah. It's sporty, all right. I could do this all day, but I don't think they'd appreciate that. Whew, I'm a little out of breath. That's fun. So I'm gonna call it a overall success when it comes to performance. Woohoo! So from the driver's seat, there's pretty good visibility. This A-pillar, pretty much like every other car, it's a little thick, but it's not so bad that you're having to guess what's behind it. The gauges, placed perfectly in your vision, but there's also a head-up display right in front of me. And that gives you pretty much vital information like speed, navigation, and some of the advanced safety features as well are projected right up into your vision. I also like the infotainment display mounted right on top of the dash. Now, it doesn't look quite as graceful as some other systems, but it's right where your eyes want to go, and it's easy to operate as you're driving. It's just one of the simpler systems to use. So all the switches here, they're well marked, and they actually look pretty nice. There are plenty of bins. This one here, perfect for cell phones. You have a USB port and an aux jack, as well as a cigarette lighter plug. And this center bin, it's not terribly deep, but still useful with a little tray that you can remove, and another pocket here. Cup holders, everything is placed really well, right where you want them. The seat, climate control, it's just a nice little rocker panel that's built into this kind of rounded out section here. And the ventilated seats actually work really well. It was pretty hot today and it kept me really nice and comfy. We have a drive mode switch here, and you can go from sport to comfort to eco to a smart automatic mode, which kind of compensates one way or the other depending on how much pedal you're giving the car. With the custom mode, you can customize responsiveness from the engine, the stiffness of the suspension, and also how loud the engine is. Now, I did get the lowdown on the engine noise. It is being pumped in sport mode through the speakers, but when I was switching between modes, it wasn't that big of a difference. So a lot of what you're hearing is the actual engine, at least. So one of my bigger concerns with this fastback design of the Stinger was rear headroom. If I was taller, it might be a bit of a problem, but you know, if you're that tall, you're probably gonna be sitting up front anyway. There is a decent amount of leg room. There's plenty of knee room, but not a whole lot under the seat, unfortunately. Like the front seats, they're firmly padded, but well shaped. And the materials quality back here is also pretty decent. Like I said, I was surprised that I was excited to drive a Kia, but this has certainly fulfilled all those expectations, and in some ways exceeded them. It's sporty, sure, but it has a really good balance of comfort and performance. When it comes to the bumps on the road, well, they're smoothed over really well. Oddly enough though, when we're going slower, let's say parking lot speeds over some broken pavement, it got oddly rough and a little nervous, almost jittery over the cracked asphalt, which was a little weird, but really kind of a minor complaint when it comes to the overall ride quality. It's quiet, road noise is present, but never so intrusive that it becomes a problem. Obviously it's got power. Yeah. I mean, that's in just regular key up comfort mode, and it really kind of hops to it once you get on the pedal. Now, if you're driving a little more relaxed and, let's say, normal, for lack of a better word, well, there's a little bit of a delay once you hit the pedal to when it starts moving, and it takes a while for the speed to start building, but give it just a little more pedal and it really starts coming to life. And it's actually really fun to drive on a twisting mountain road. The handling is really good. Now, it doesn't feel as light as a sports car, but it's not intended to be a sports car either. It's a nice, comfortable touring car that has plenty of performance. The power from this V6 is way more than most drivers will ever need. That said, as someone who likes performance cars, it could stand to have more power, and that is actually a compliment because the chassis, the suspension, the brakes, everything else that handles that power is really well sorted out, and it encourages you to drive harder, and it can certainly take quite a bit more power. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe like an S or an R variant of the Stinger. And honestly, I'd really love to drive that too. As it is though, this Stinger GT is plenty capable, and it really is a huge step in the right direction for Kia. I mean, you think back not too long ago, sure, they were inexpensive, but that's about all you could say about their cars. Now that they stole away the chief engineer from BMW, the guy who was in charge of some of the best M cars from BMW, you can feel the difference now. The suspension is not only sporty and capable, but man, it can really take a turn too. So everything is really coming together for Kia, and it's quite nice to see actually. So I spent pretty much the whole day driving this Stinger, and I have to say it certainly lived up to its hype. It has the performance to match its stunning looks. It's comfortable, it's easy to drive, it has all the right features inside, and obviously it has the right price. For more information on the Stinger, as well as its competition, head over to Edmunds.com. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe.